What's up guys, in this video we will talk about how you will never ever get banned on Reddit again. And I made a video about that before, but in this video I want to go more into detail again, give you some new insights and some more information which are important when it comes to stop getting banned on Reddit. But we will first of all go through all the 4 points you will see here in the 4 corners. Let's start with the first one, which is having the right proxies. Before I get into this one, I would quickly like to mention my free Telegram group, which is on Telegram. There you are able to network, to do whatever you want when it comes to OF. You can ask me questions, you can ask everyone else questions in there. You are able to communicate there and exchange information, and this is what we are all looking for. So make sure to check that group out. It is the first link in the description. And let's start talking about the first topic now, which is the having the right proxy topic. How can you make sure to have the right proxies? First of all, what I'm noticing a lot is that there are always a lot of questions in the groups. What are the best proxies? People come to me, ask me, what is the best proxy? Which proxies can I buy? Are those proxies safe? Are those not? Whatever. Those are the most questions which I'm getting. And what I can tell you, first of all, is that probably the first proxy provider you will find will not be the right one for you. What you will have to understand is that especially the proxies that are getting mentioned in the Telegram groups or in general, like in the OF space, they are already getting used by agencies. So let's say another agency before you is using the Reddit account on this proxy. The chances that they had an account which got banned on this IP is very, very high. And this means if you want to set up now an account on this IP, this IP or this proxy is already flagged towards Reddit, and this means you are not able to set up properly a new account on this IP and in this proxy, and this means your account will get banned, and this is something which we obviously want to avoid. So how can we make sure that our proxy provider provides us with proxies that haven't been used for Reddit before? This is pretty hard to do, or let's say not hard, it is like you need to do research. You will not be able to ask me this question and come to me and say, and I will like give you the answer. This is not going to happen because I have my providers that are working, and you will have to find your own providers that are working. Nobody is going to do the work for you when it comes to that, so you will have to do the research by yourself. And this research also includes doing a lot of testings. This means if you have, for example, now did your research and you found 5 providers that you haven't found in a group. What I like to do, for example, is filter many OF groups with the proxy provider's name and check, okay, was this proxy provider mentioned in this group before? And if you, for example, don't find it in 5 groups, you may have a proxy provider which is not that popular in the OF space, which is the first indicator, which is very, very good for us. Once we have that indicator done and checked, we can go into the provider and check, okay, is it actually like proxies that are worth for us buying? Like let's say there's a ISP proxy, just a static residential for $10, that's just too much. We cannot afford that. But if there's like an ISP IP a static residential proxy for like $4 per month, that is totally fine. This is an amount which I personally also pay in order to have the right proxies for all my accounts. Next thing you want to do is, once you purchase the proxy, is check the fraud score. You can do that on many different websites. You can do that on Scamalytics, for example. Just put in the IP address of the proxy and then it will say you how high the fraud score is. And also a lot of providers will give you a new proxy, for example, when you text the support, if the proxy has a high fraud score, for example. But you need to check the refund rules when it comes to that. But a lot of providers will give you a new proxy actually if you already buy one and it has a high fraud score. Those are the things which are important for proxies. Once you found a proxy provider that has low fraud score and no mentionings in any of the OF groups and looks good towards you, you will be in a position to test everything out. If you test it out, you will set up your account on this proxy, etc., and try everything out. It doesn't mean if the account gets banned that it's a proxy problem. There's a lot of other things which need to come into consideration, but especially when you set up the account with, for example, a Gmail on your phone with the proxy included and the account gets instantly banned, there's a high possibility that that problem is from the proxy, that the proxy got already flagged before or stuff like this. But this is why it's so important to try out multiple proxy providers, try out multiple times proxies from this provider, let's say 3, 4, or 5 from 5 different providers. And once you did that, you will be in the position to see, okay, which worked the best, which worked the worst. If, for example, on all 5 accounts from all 5 providers, they all get banned instantly. It's probably not a proxy issue. It's probably an issue on your end with something else, with the account creation and stuff like this. And this is something which you need to take in consideration as well. Next thing, which needs to be correct in order to never get banned on Reddit, is the farming process. I talked a lot about this in the past, in the last videos as well, but the farming process is like one of the key essentials in order to get proper accounts for your models and accounts that last long, because the farming process is the moment where you do the first interactions on Reddit, where you give Reddit the opportunity to check, are you a real user or are you just farming karma in order to post an SFW? And that's why it's so important to do a proper farming process. Me personally, I start doing a few comments every day, and I increase this amount over the, let's say, next 5 days until I reach 10 comments daily. And then I do those 10 comments for, let's say, 10 days. Once I reach like the certain amount of comment karma which I need, but I normally, even if I reached it after day 5, which my karma farmers normally do, I still go to day 10, for example, with the farming process, and then I go on and do the post karma farming. I post my accounts until I have around 300 to 400 comment karma and around to 3 to 4k post karma, because that is basically allowing me to post everywhere. We will go into that with the karma checking requirements later again, because I have something very, very great to show you there. Next thing I want to talk about is stop posting too much. This is also one thing which I noticed, which gets a lot of people banned on Reddit, is that they post too much on the accounts actually, and also too fast. On the one side, you have the farming process and the warm-up process of the account, but on the other side, you also have the NSFW warm-up process. So if you start with your NSFW posting, you need to make sure to not instantly do 20 posts on the first day. If you do 20 posts on the first day, it is very, very likely that your account will get banned, and this is the last thing all of us want. So my personal recommendation here is also to grow up the account. Let's say start on the first day with 3 posts and then go up 10 days, do every day like 1 or 2 posts more until you reach this 20 posts per day. I don't follow a specific order here, because what I noticed, once you start using exact patterns all over again on Reddit, Reddit is gonna notice it and it's gonna ban you. So that's why I will not give you here an exact way to do it, because I think personally you can do, let's say, 3 on the first day, 2 on the second day, 5 on the third day, something like this, in order to like just don't always do the exact same on Reddit every time. And this is working literally every time, but still I noticed if you do a complete pattern all the time, Reddit will at some point notice it. Once you finish the warm-up and SFW, I would recommend to do a maximum of 20 posts in the beginning, and long-term you can go up to 25 posts, but this is something which you will see as well, how high can you actually go. But me personally, I don't go over 25 posts daily with my accounts. I also seen people doing 40 posts per day, but I don't know if they got their accounts long term, if they were able to post long term. But me personally, I like it more to keep it clean, as low as possible the risk of getting banned, and this is why I keep my accounts on 25 posts on a maximum of a daily basis. Let's get to the last points, and this is something which is very, very important and also completely new compared to the other videos I've shown you so far and I've made so far for you. Follow the community guidelines, because what a lot of people don't notice is that if your post is getting removed on Reddit, your CQS will drop. And the lower your CQS is, the higher is the chance of you getting banned on Reddit. And this is why it is so important to follow the community guidelines. Don't post in subreddits where you are not allowed to post, where your post will get removed for whatever reason. And how can you now make sure that you can actually follow those guidelines? On the one side, you can check for every subreddit the rules. This is the first thing which I would recommend you doing. But a lot of rules are missing out there. For example, the minimum karma requirements and stuff like this. And this is why I want to show you the following tool now, which is amazing in order to find out on the one side the community guidelines when it comes to karma requirements, but also when it comes to verification requirements. And we will check it out here. And this is the Redscope bot. This is actually my tool. I released it recently, but it's amazing also for what we're talking about now. Stop getting your accounts banned and stuff like this. I will only show you the verification checker and the subreddit requirements checker, because this is exactly what we need in this case. First of all, let's do the check verification requirements. We will do it for a subreddit which needs verification, and this is Agents Gone Wild. This verification checker is going into the subreddit and analyzing what is going on there. He is giving us a result and says verification very likely to get to be required. And this means, like, from what he found in the subreddit, it is very likely that there is a verification required, obviously. And this means for us, we shouldn't post in there unless we made a verification. And this also means that if we do post in there without having done the verification, we will either get removed by the moderators, which is lowering our CQS, or we will get instantly a spam filter removed by Reddit because it is verification only posters. And this will also lower our CQS. So this is a very, very nice tool in order to find out actually if you are allowed to post in the subreddit right away. This tool is, by the way, 3 days for free, so you can test it out completely for free. And if we now want to check the karma requirements, we can go in here and put in the subreddit requirements. Let's go with the Gone Wild subreddit. This is taking always a bit longer because we need to scan 200 users, which is like a lot for the Reddit API and the tracking systems. But let me pause the video real quick until it's done. Normally it takes like 30 seconds to a minute. Great, so the results just came in. It took around 1 minute. And what this is doing, it is literally scanning, for example, the last 200 posters of this subreddit. As you can see, it scanned out 198 users, and it scans their lows, the post karma, their comment karma, and their age. And what we can see in here is basically a list of requirements that are needed in order to post this subreddit. And the Gone Wild subreddit is completely open, as we can see from the requirements here. The lowest post karma account which was able to find by the bot is this one here. It has a post karma of 0. The next thing is the lowest comment karma, which is -5 actually. So we're on the other side, we're not even in the positive area. And this is this account. You can of course check those numbers. And also the youngest account which is posting in the subreddit is this one here, Rav Breeder. And all of those things mean for us that there is no requirements for post karma, there's no requirements for comment karma, and there's also no requirements for account age. And all those things together combined cause that we will be able to post in there without removals, without lowering our CQS because of like getting spam filter, moderator removals. And this is why this tool is so amazing also to keep your accounts alive, because you can check the verifications, you can check the subreddit requirements, and also a lot of other things which you will be able to find out in the video I did before this one. But let's not talk too much about this tool. I will link it to you in the description. As I said, it's 3 days for free, so you can basically just try it out by yourself. But let's get back to the topic of how you will never get banned on Reddit again. All those 4 points are extremely important. Having the right proxies, the farming process needs to be in place, it needs to be correct. You shouldn't do too much posting, and you should follow the community guidelines and also the Reddit guidelines, which is something which is very, very important. What a lot of people also ask me is, Reddit God, when do you put in your OnlyFans link? And what I can tell you is that I don't put in my OnlyFans link. You need to put on, for example, a custom domain which is causing or forwarding you to your OnlyFans, and this is like causing that you will be able to not get recognized by Reddit that you are doing OnlyFans. This was something which was very, very important to me as well. So always I recommend to do a custom domain, for example, through Get All My Links. You can do that there, or use some other providers which aren't that known in the OF space and just like used in other spaces, but which are always direct linking to your OnlyFans. This is it for this video. If you have any questions in regards to how you will never get banned on Reddit again, or questions to Reddit in general, as I said, make sure to check out my free Telegram networking group. It's the first link in the description of the video. And besides that, guys, I think I've mentioned everything that is important in regards to this topic. Make sure to hit the subscribe button to never miss any videos of me again. And yeah, besides that, have a nice day and bye-bye.